I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Oh, whoa, 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 woo! I am so excited for you. I'm so pumped. We are on the last section of PowerSheets Prep. You are in the home stretch, my friend. So go to page 35. Are you ready for this? Remember how last time we talked about threads? The themes that you see in your PowerSheets, those little tiny golden threads that connect the dots to your goals. That's what we're about to start discovering here. You're gonna need a couple tools for this. Are you ready? You can either use a number 2 pencil, you can use a highlighter, you can use another pen, whatever it is. Grab something to start to go back through your PowerSheets, and you're gonna mark things that really stand out to you. For instance, you might flip through and on your list of what fires you up, you look at one of those items and you say, man, that just really fires me up. So you can see on my example here that I've gone ahead and started to highlight and circle and mark some of the things that stood out the most to me. Because what we're doing is we're sifting through all the things to get to the few things that matter the most. So call those things out. Circle, mark, sticker, highlight, number 2 pencil them, whatever it is. Go back right now through every page of your PowerSheets, not many pages. Go back through every page and start to notice the threads by marking them. So have you ever made a to-do list and added items to the to-do list that you already did just so that you could check them? I have one friend behind the camera smiling about that because you know you do it. On the bottom of page 35, once you've done your going back, once you've gone back and looked at all the threads and marked those things, you get to check it off. Go ahead and give that a big old check when you're done treasure hunting for the threads. And then we get to flip the page. Flipping over to page 36 and 37. These are brand new pages in the PowerSheets, and we are so excited for you to reap the rewards from filling these out. So on page 36, you're gonna name the threads. Going back through the things that you circled, marked, stickered, and highlighted, write those things out. So on our example here, for instance, maybe wellness was a theme for you and you saw threads about eating healthier, working out consistently, saying no to things that are stressing you out. More fresh air might have been on your what you're saying yes to list. And maybe you had a theme of finances, and the little threads or themes that you noticed were making an action plan is something you really needed to do. Instead of going through the motions, maybe you want to give more. So these are just some ideas to get your brain percolating. Go back, look at what the threads were, and give them a place right here. Write them out so you can see them in black and white. Or again, purple, pink, or blue, whatever suits your fancy. There are some really helpful tips on the bottom here on page 36. Again, everything you need is right inside the PowerSheets. But if you need a reminder, maybe some of your threads don't feel groundbreaking. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I thought I was gonna uncover these like massive life changes or these huge things I wanted to do in the future. Maybe yours feel a little bit more quiet. Maybe it's that you just want to have consistency in the habits of your everyday life. Maybe it's like we talked about, being able to finish the laundry and put your laundry away. Don't discount those things, because in the seemingly mundane, those things can add up into the very meaningful. The mundane can become meaningful when we just give it a place. So don't judge your answers here in the threads you write down. If they don't feel groundbreaking or huge, they might be exactly what you need in this season. On page 37, we get to have a little fun and start to turn those threads into goal ideas. Now look, we only have 6 more pages until we write actual goals. We're not there yet. You still have permission to make a mess. Write down whatever's in your brain right now, and remember, this is not permanent. So on page 37, you're gonna turn those threads into goal ideas. I wanna make sure you get that last part. They're just ideas. Maybe if you had wellness threads that you saw, a theme of, like we said, eating healthier or getting outside more or whatever it is, maybe you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm kind of seeing that I have a wellness goal here. Maybe my goal is to feel whole and complete and like I'm alive in the skin that I'm in right now, right where I am, instead of getting to the finish line and a number on the scale. So maybe that is a goal idea you write down on page 37. Pages 38 and 39 in the PowerSheets are also brand new, And I'm really excited for you to fill these out because I think they're gonna help you to simplify your life and simplify your time. Have you ever felt like you have too many goals? Like, I have so many things on my list that I wanna grow or accomplish. Where do I start? This is where we get to simplify and put those threads that maybe go together or they have similar themes into what we call buckets or big picture goal areas. Maybe you've uncovered threads throughout the PowerSheets process that seem like they go together. For instance, nurturing a relationship with a significant other, creating a meaningful and warm home environment, being more present with your family. Those things you might choose to group together in a big picture goal bucket that's titled something like Cultivate a Life-Giving Home. That gives them a theme. Gives them like an umbrella with which to be under and have fun and splash in the puddles together. So looking at your list on page 38, take some of those threads and start to get messy on this page, okay? No final answers needed. You just put the things that you feel like go together and then list out a big picture goal or area of life. If you're confused on that, a really good way to do it is look back at your cultivated life evaluation at those 8 categories. Maybe you choose to have 8 different big picture goal categories, like a health goal. Put all those threads that have to do with health. Like a family goal, put all those threads that have to do with family. A finance goal, and put all the threads that have to do with stewarding your resources well. This is gonna help you to start to see how these little tiny threads add up to the big picture. Because goals that don't motivate us tend to be goals that don't have anything to do with where we really want to be in the big picture. But when you start to see really clearly where you want to be in the big picture and where you don't want to be in the big picture, what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to, you can start acting like it today. So group those threads into the goal buckets, those big picture goal areas, and we're going to move on to something fun next. Now we get to make an action plan that you can't wait to get started on. And the best way to do that is to start by breaking down our goals. Just like in life, if you want to have some fun, you have to break it down, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do with our goals. We're going to take those big picture goals or those buckets, those areas of life, and we're going to break them down into mini goals and get really specific about why we want to take action on them. This is so simple. All you do is fill out one set of action plan worksheets for each of your big picture goals. There are 10 action plan worksheet sections for you available, but you don't have to use all of those. Maybe you only decided to focus on 2 or 3 areas of life or big picture goals. That's okay too. Use as many as you need to. So we're going to look at an example on page 44. On page 44, you're going to see that we have listed at the top big picture goal and why. So take the areas of life that you listed on page, everything connects here. Super easy on page 38 and 39. Take those big picture goals or areas of life and just write them in at the top. So our example here says build a solid financial foundation. The why might be something like living within our means now will free us to live and give generously later. So why that big picture bucket? Why do you want to grow that in the big picture? And then we get to start breaking it down and looking at the positive possibilities ahead. The positive effect taking action on this goal may have on me and others. The example here is we'll be able to meet the needs of others when given a chance. Building a legacy now will bless our future family. And then the next part, how I will feel at the end of this year having made progress on this goal. There's nothing that motivates me more than stopping to imagine how I'm going to feel at the end of the year having made progress on that goal. Because again, if you don't have a really clear picture of where you're going, how are you going to get there? So the example is you would feel secure and free. And is that motivating? Yes, that is motivating. Lastly, at the end of this year or season, here's how I'm going to celebrate making progress on this goal. Because little by little progress is worth celebrating. And you should celebrate what you want to see more of. So the example here is, I will celebrate by writing a generous check as a holiday gift to an organization. And these things, again, are seeds. When you plant the seed of how it's going to feel at the end of the year or at the finish line or even halfway through the process, when you look ahead to how I will celebrate in a meaningful way, it really does give you the push to make something happen and to do something about it. Flipping over to page 45, just as an example again, what does progress look like? So every big picture goal is actually made up of a bunch of mini goals. So what does progress look like? What would it look like if you were to map out, not a perfect plan, but in general, what logically has to happen for you to realize this goal or make progress on this goal? The example we have here is, one of the mini goals might be to create a budget, to finish our finance goal guide that we have here in the shop at Cultivate, to have a no spend month where you don't spend money on frivolous things, set up an automatic tithe to church, break down your loan into a debt snowball, fund your emergency fund. A lot of these are fun Dave Ramsey things. Increase your mortgage payment by 10%. These mini goals are how we can almost guarantee that if we were to do these things, we're going to make progress on this big picture goal. On the bottom of page 45, start to write out the starting steps. And we want these to be tiny, little tiny starting steps. So small that you cannot help but take action on them. Because one of the biggest roadblocks I see with women is we make our starting steps way too big. We think, okay, my starting step is to conquer the world. Don't conquer the world in one starting step. Make it something that's small, realistic, actionable, something you could maybe do in under 2 minutes. So as an example, a starting step might be to open up the finance goal guide and fill out page 1. That's it. Now that might feel like super small, like why even write that? It's so small. But again, give yourself the gift of momentum. Write out things that are so easy that you can't help but do them. And remember, once you get through those first few starting steps, the rest will fill itself in. Take your time with those goal action plan pages. But I also want to give you a little kick in the pants. Don't feel like you have to have the perfect answers. When you're done with those pages, you can flip over to page 64 and 65. Page 64 and 65 look like this. This is where you get to write out your 2019 goals. You've made it. You've done it. I'm so excited to see what you write on these pages. And there's some fun things you can do on here too. So you'll see that there is an outline of a flag on the side of each one of these goal areas. You can flip over to your stickers at the front of your PowerSheets and choose a color to go with each one of your goals. If you're into color coding, this is for you. Even if you're not into color coding, you might get a lot out of this. So choose one of these flags to correspond with each one of your 2019 goals. And I'll show you how this plays out in the pages ahead in a minute. But for now, write out your goal. Write out the big picture goal that matters to you and why. And again, use the power of repetition. Maybe you're just going back to your action plan pages and writing exactly what you wrote before. This is really just a summary for you to have to see all in one place. When you're done with that, you get to start to map out your year on pages 66 and 67. Pages 66 and 67 are the yearly overview. So when you look at all of the goals that you want to accomplish in 2019, and again, maybe you have 2, maybe you filled out the entire area of 10 goals, as many as you want or need. When you look at those goals, what is that maybe going to look like on your calendar? Maybe there are goals that you can only do in summer. Maybe there's something that you want to accomplish that has to do with that season. So you just start to plot out on this calendar when you might have milestones or where some of those mini goals might fit. The purpose of this is to make sure that you're not doing too much at once, because you can't do it all and do it well. Nothing grows well in an overcrowded garden, right? My tomato plants, if I grew them too close together, they just start to suck the life out of each other. And we're trying to be proactive here and use forethought to make sure that that does not happen. So looking at all of the goals that you want to cultivate this year, map them out on your calendar on this little sketchy part. And again, this is not a perfect calendar for you to follow from here on out. This is a place for you to get messy. This is a workbook. So start to do some working right here. So there you have it. You have written out your 2019 goals. You have gone through the process of digging and uncovering that buried treasure, those little threads that have woven together to add up to these 2019 goals. And you're ready. If you're feeling any hesitation though, or you feel like, oh, I don't know if I chose the right goals, here's some encouragement for you. We know how you feel, and we built something into the PowerSheets to help you. Every 3 months, you're gonna get a goal refresh, which means you're gonna have an opportunity to, within about 2 or 3 pages, refresh your goals. Because as you grow and change, your goals might too. So don't feel like the goals you just wrote down are set in stone, you can't change them. Good things grow and change over time. Back to my tomatoes. If my tomatoes plant starts growing up, I stake it so that it has something to climb on, but I don't know exactly how many tomatoes are gonna grow on that vine. I don't know exactly which direction it's gonna grow on that trellis. So I stake it little by little, season by season. I make sure I go back out there, take a look at that plant, so I'm tending it well. Same thing with our goals. So every 3 months, you're gonna get an opportunity to refresh. We can't do it all and do it well, but we can choose to cultivate what matters. And you've done that. So proud of you, so excited for you, so proud of you for making a mess and just getting through all these pages. You've uncovered some really good, important things. And from here, hop over to cultivatewhatmatters.com for more encouragement, grab some more PowerSheets accessories, grab a friend to do this alongside. You can get more encouragement in our Facebook group too. And also, if you want to, share your journey on social media with us using the PowerSheets hashtag. That's also a really great place to find more inspiration from women that are doing this right alongside you. I'm so excited for you. Thanks for taking this journey with us, and go cultivate what matters. You know all those things you've always wanted to do. You are ready to go get them. You're ready to do them. Woo! We are celebrating you. Congratulations on finishing your PowerSheets prep. The best is yet to come. Woo! Oh yeah.